body is tired and your mind will not settle, healing begins with the way you rest. Deep rest is where your nervous system resets, where the dreams open, and when your body finally remembers how to repair itself. The Deep Sleep Bundle was created to guide you into that state. The Nervine Rescue Herbal Extract helps calm the mind, relax the muscles, and release the tension you've been carrying all day. The Sleep Herbal Tea Blend helps you tap into your dream space with more clarity. When your dreams are clearer, your spirit can process what your body has been holding on to. When you sleep well, your hormones, your mood, your energy, and your immune system all begin to rise. If you're ready for deeper rest, clearer dreams, and real restoration, this is for you. Your body will feel the difference. The Deep Sleep Bundle for deeper rest, clearer dreams, and the kind of healing you can actually feel. Shop now at aurorasblends.com. Healing begins the moment you choose it.
Peace, soul family. Welcome, welcome. Good evening, good night. Peace, peace. How's everyone feeling tonight? Hey, everyone. Greetings, Justacia. Welcome to everyone that is here. I'm so excited about this topic as well, bubbly divinations. Shout out to everyone that is here tonight. Welcome to the entire Spiritual AU fam. Welcome to everyone in the collective, the threshold. Welcome to all the OGs who have been watching this channel. You've been here with me for, I was gonna say decades, maybe decades on the spiritual realm, but for the past 6 years or so. So welcome all of you, everyone from Spiritual Ascension University, everyone that's been in the chat. Peace, Gregory Miller. Welcome, Aaron Woods. So tonight's topic is sponsored by my favorite, one of my favorites. I have like 3 favorite tea blends that you all should know by now, right? Shamana Brew, Mentality, and my favorite Sleep Brew by Aurora's Blends. And I'm so excited because she did something very special to me because I travel quite frequently and I can't always bring my tea with me. So she created a tincture. It's actually the Nervine Rescue Tincture. And this is what I take when I can't drink my tea, or sometimes I do both of them together. So what it does is the Nervine Rescue literally regulates your nervous system. All soulborns, especially if you're empathic, have like a shocked nervous system or out of balance nervous system. And so this helps to regulate that. And then the tea, which I drink faithfully, I drink it at night to help me go to sleep so that I can have deeper, more impactful, and powerful dreams, which is what we're here to talk about tonight. So let me see if I can put the link up here for anyone who is interested. So aurorasblends.com/sleep. I think she is in the chat tonight. So welcome, Makeda K, the herb mixologist. And let's get into it. Let's get into the topic tonight. Again, welcome everyone that is here. If this is your first time, let us know in the chat. Let us know in the chat. There are amazing beings that are here. Hey, peace, Makeda K. There are some amazing beings that are here in the chat. If this is your first time, don't be shy. Say, hey, this is my first time. You'll be welcomed with some love. Peace, Hanan. Peace, Hanan. Peace, Carol. Welcome, Ariel. Truth telling to heal. Welcome. Gloria, you're an hour early, but that's okay because you're in the UK. And also welcome to all of the new subscribers, especially those who are from all parts of the world. If you're new, just let us know in the comments section. I would love to greet you and just know how far this message, this information is reaching. So again, welcome everyone. Tonight is a very, I think all the lessons are special. So I don't want to say this one is more special than another one, but this is one that many people have asked about over the years. And I've done, small teachings on it or just interpretations about dreams, but never really diving into what happens when you sleep, because there's a lot of information out there. Astral traveling, out of body experience, just dream, just a lot of information. And this is specifically for soulborn because you need to know what's happening when you sleep. And you need to know why it's important that this is not just something that you do every night. It's not just for rest. It is much, much deeper. And it impacts your life, both in a positive way and sometimes not so much. And so we need to be clear on exactly what is happening. So Shout out to all of the people who have been sending me emails, messages, asking questions like, what is the difference between astral travel, out of body experience, or what does this dream mean? I'm going to answer that for you tonight. Okay. So without further ado, and if you have questions, I may not be able to see it. I may jump back and forth, maybe at the end. If you have questions, put 3 question marks in front of it, and maybe I'm able to catch it. But if not, leave your questions in the comment section below. I do read the comments as much as I can, and I'm more than happy to, answer any quick questions. We're not doing readings or going too deep. Quick questions. Okay. So with that said, let's dive into the lesson. Peace, Shirley Berry. You said, I am new here. I'm a dreamer interpreter. At first, I was afraid of my own gifts. Listen, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. As usual, many of you that are in spiritual AU, or just many of you who are just used to how I teach, you take notes. And I always say, have your pen and paper ready to take notes. We are doing real spiritual work here, which means that when this is not just for entertainment purposes, this is not just to make you feel good. This is, I'm teaching, I'm sharing this information to help get you out of the loop, this cycle that you've been in, to activate those codes that have been locked within you for so long so that you can exist in the spiral, live in the spiral, ascend, right? Get out of this loop, this endless loop and cycle that you have been in. And so we take notes. So why do we take notes? So that we can go back, we can refer back to it, so that we can study what it is that we've learned. So if you are ones who are here to take notes, I will be putting some things on the screen to make it a little bit easier for you. Back in the day, I would just say, number 1, write number 1 down, and you would write it down and say, what did she say number 2 was? We're making it a little bit easy for you now. So let me go ahead and share my screen with you all. There we go. Let's do this. Okay. And then let's put this up there. There we go. There we go. So what really happens when you sleep? So before we get into this, before we do any work, it is so important that as soul born, right? Souls, spiritual beings, soul beings, that we ground ourselves, that we set intentions, that we are open to receive the message that is coming through, right? Our work is really to decode information. And so what I would like for everyone to do, again, if you are led, is to take a collective deep breath. We'll do this on a count of 3. And then I'm going to read an invocation that welcomes this energy in at this time. So on the count of 3, we're going to take a deep cleansing breath, a deep grounding breath, and then we will begin. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So tonight I call forth the original rhythm of restoration, the truth of sleep, not as unconsciousness, but as connection, the pathways of decoding, remembering, and soul listening. And I open this portal in honor of the soul born, that we may reclaim this night as sacred passage. All right. So let's just do a temperature check here. I'm going to ask 3 questions. If this is you, please type it in the chat, 1, 2, or 3. Number 1, if you are someone that has been having dreams that you just cannot explain, like you're trying to look in dream dictionaries, you're trying to figure out what this is, and it seems like there's no explanation to this, write a 1 in the chat, or type a 1 in the chat. Let me know if that is you. Okay. Number 2, let me know if this is you, if you are have been feeling pulled into other timelines or realities at night. What I mean by that is, like, this is not my house. This is not where I really live. Where is this place? Where am I? Right? What's going on here? This is not what's happening in my world. Type number 2 if that is you. Type number 2 if that is you. Okay, welcome, Shani West. Okay, number 3. Now let me know if this is you. If you are opening your eyes and you're like, okay, something just happened. I just experienced this whole thing and I don't know what happened, but you know it's something important. And you're like, oh, you're trying to remember what just transpired. Like if your heart is racing, you feel like there's something there, you just can't reach it. Like, what was that? And nothing's coming through. You just cannot remember it at all. Let me know if this is you. Number 3. Okay. Now, some of you may be all 1, 2, 3. Some of you may be one or the other. But I just want number 1 for me to know who I'm speaking with, but I want you all to know who is here in the audience with you tonight. Okay. So let's proceed. So tonight we're going to explore the difference between astral traveling, dream walking, and yes, I'm going to address out of body experience. We're also going to talk about how to recognize soul missions in your dream, and why you may be pulled into karmic contracts at night, and also why it is important for the soul born to treat their sleep state as something of great importance. Okay, after tonight, my goal is that you never just lay down and go to sleep. Okay. All right, so let's proceed. Let's proceed. So, there are 3 functions of sleep, 3 main functions of sleep. Of course, the first one we all know is physical, right? And so we sleep for body regeneration, right? We know that we need to sleep in order to be healthy, to be healed. Our body detoxes overnight, one organ at a time. Okay. The second function of sleep is energetic. Okay. Now we're getting into spiritual work. So now we're talking about grid recalibration. So the second function is grid recalibration. And the third function is spiritual. And this is soul anchoring and memory retrieval. So these are the 3 functions of sleep. The 3 functions of sleep. Okay. Now let's talk about soul borns. Why the soul borns experience sleep differently. Now, if you're saying, what does she mean by the soul borns? I did a video talking about the 3 types of beings. Watch that. There are soul borns, there are the echoes, and there are the constructs. Okay, this is for the soul borns. Okay, so the soul borns were actually designed for shorter sleep. Okay, shorter sleep. The soul borns were not designed for long, shallow sleep, but for shorter, deep calibration periods that efficiently integrate and repair. Okay. So you were not meant to sleep 8 to 10 hours. Okay. 4 to 6 hours may feel enough. You may sleep for 4 hours and wake up like, I'm okay. I can go about my day. And the reason why is because the soul-born system integrates faster than typical sleep cycles. So for 4 hours for you is 8 hours for another type of being, a construct or an echo human being. Okay. Oversleeping can create fatigue in the soul born. So in the soul born, when you oversleep, you can actually cause fatigue within your body because it may lead to overcharging of your system or stagnation within your energy circuits. So I know that it said you need 8 hours, and for women, you need 10 hours, and it's actually hindering you to sleep that long. Matter of fact, you can't. You'll go to sleep at 11 o'clock and you're waking up at 3 anyway. And you're like, I got to get my 8 hours, and you try to go back to sleep and you can't. Okay? It's actually time to get up and do some work, meditate. Okay? The soul born are wired differently than the universal collective. What do I mean by that? I mean the collective of beings, this planet, the one that comes into an agreement that says, you know, we work 9 to 5 job, right? The one that says that the first month of the year is January. This is what I mean by the universal collective. The one that says that, yeah, the beginning of the year is January, not March. Okay. That there's 12 months of the year, right? So this is the universal collective. Soulborns are different. You're wired differently. Okay. You don't fully sit or fit in these systems and you know it. Okay. So let's continue. So why you really dream like others? So I hear so many soulborns saying, I don't dream. Am I supposed to dream? Or I think I do. Right? Remember the number 3 when I said you get up and you're like, something happened, but I don't know what it is, right? A lot of you put number 3, right? So here's the truth. Here's the truth. You do dream, but it's different. It's not what you think it is. Most of you travel, okay, we'll talk about traveling, um, or astral traveling, and it's done, but it very symbolic dream state is very symbolic. It is not what you would perceive a dream to be. Like there's a storyline, it makes sense. Okay. Some of you have missions that are clear, that are non symbolic. Okay. And that are unrecorded by your waking mind. So that means there are things that are happening in your sleep state, and your waking mind has no idea what it is. It is okay. Not that it doesn't matter, but is not going to negatively affect you. Okay. Something is happening every time you close your eyes. Every time you close your eyes, whether it's in a bed, whether it's at your office desk, whether you're meditating and fall asleep, whether you're in your car taking a nap. Every time you close your eyes, there is soul work being done. Okay. So now let's talk about the 4 core dream categories. Let me see if I can make the screen bigger for you all. Okay. The 4 core dream categories. Okay. So the first one is processing. So these are echoes of unhealed emotion. So what do I mean by processing? What do I mean by echoes of unhealed emotion? These are some of my favorite dreams. These dreams help the subconscious process unresolved emotions. Okay. Let me give you an example. Let's say you have a dream about arguing with an old friend you haven't spoken to in years. It's not literal. Of course, you haven't spoken to them. You don't know where they are. Okay. But there's something that is surfacing. It's unspoken guilt, pain, resentment that is still stored in your body. The dream is releasing what was never said out loud. Let me stop sharing for a second. Okay. Something that when I talk to people about healing their trauma, doing their shadow work, and there's this urge to want to speak to the person that hurt them, right? A relative, a friend, or whoever, an ex lover. And it's like, well, I have to speak to them to tell them how I feel. Many times you will hear me say, no, you don't. No, you don't. You can do your shadow work, your healing work while you are awake. And many times it happens during this dream state when you're not even aware, but it's something that's rising up within you. Maybe there's a level of your life that you need to get to. And then this particular relationship, let's say it's an ex-lover, a boyfriend from when you were 17 years old, right? And um, maybe your work is to speak, to be a speaker. And this person would talk about you and say things like, you don't make any sense when you talk, or maybe he would say something negative about how you looked. And spirit is saying, it's time for you to speak. It's time for you to get on stages, or it's time for you to do something, right? And you're feeling this, I don't know, I feel nervous about this when I know this is what I'm supposed to do. And then you have this dream, right? And you don't like this guy, you don't know where he is. That was 20 years ago. Like, why am I having this dream about this person? Well, whatever that trauma is, I'm saying is, what has been stored within you for all these years. And it's taking this dream to bring it to the surface so that it can be dealt with, healed, and released. You don't have to do the work. It's not saying maybe I should call him and have a conversation with him. It already happened. For the soul born, you don't have to do the extra. Most of your work is done on the spiritual realm, y'all. I want you to get that. You do what you're prompted to do and let your spirit team handle the rest. And your spirit team will bring this up to you during the dream state so that you know this is dealt with, it's done with, it's over. Okay? It's over. It was brought up. You saw it, you remembered it, and now you can say an affirmation to release it. You can say, thank you, I now release this. And now you can move forward and do the work you're meant to do. For many of you that selected number 3, that said, I get up and I know something happened, but I don't know what it is. Many times this is what is happening. Many times there's an experience that you need to heal from, some trauma that you don't have to be physically present for, that you don't even have to be spiritually present for. It happens while you sleep. Imagine that. Imagine that every time you sleep, a trauma is healed. Okay? You don't have to put a lot of effort. When you are on your path doing your work, there's not a lot of physical effort that you have to do. This is one of the reasons why it's important to sleep, and we'll continue. All right? Let me know in the chat if this makes sense, if it's resonating. Type 7. Type a 7 in the chat. All right. Let's get back to it. Okay. So now let's talk about projection. Projection, we're speaking on fear-based mirroring or thought form residue. Fear-based mirroring or thought form residue. Okay. So these are dreams that are influenced by your own fears or beliefs. For example, you dream that you fail a test that you have. You know, you're trying to get a license to be a real estate agent and you had a dream that you failed it. Okay. Or let's say you have a dream that you're starting this new job, this new business, and you're going to this meeting and you show up unprepared. Okay. It is not prophecy. It is not like, oh my gosh, that means I'm going to fail. No, it's not prophecy. It is your inner critic replaying fears of inadequacy or being seen. Okay. These dreams mirror your inner dialogue, not your soul's truth. Once again, like I said, many times this is coming to the surface so that you can recognize it and then address it. You know what? I am prepared for this job. I am going to pass this test. This is my mission. I'm supposed to help. I'm supposed to build community. So I have to pass this real estate exam, right? But there's this underlying fear that you may have. And I always say this, people say, oh no, I'm powerful. I'm this, I'm that, I'm great, right? And that's wonderful. But we all have these things that have been projected on us throughout our lives and these fears, and they have to come to the surface. And your spirit team is going to say, listen, go to sleep so that we can bring this to the surface so that you can address it. Because when you recognize that you have this fear about failing the test, then we can go back and look into your childhood. Where did I have this experience where there was something I really wanted to do and I failed? Okay. And then we can start the healing process from there. So projection is the second one. Okay. Third one, visitation. Visitation. So visitation These are messages from others, known or unknown. These are spiritual visits from your guides, loved ones, or being you may not consciously know. For example, you may see your grandmother who transitioned years ago, and she's telling you, I'm so proud of you. Okay. Or you may see this luminous figure, this light, and they're passing you a crystal. Okay. You say, use this crystal. These are not metaphors, these are real energetic visits. They're encoded with meaning. You don't dismiss them. Okay. You don't have to know who it is all the time. Sometimes you want, who is this person? I'm trying to figure out who this is. I don't know who this was. Maybe this dream wasn't meaningful because I don't recognize the person. They may be someone from your spirit team, and you just don't recognize who they are, and that's okay. And the last category is astral travel. Now, astral travel are soul movements across realms, time, and memory. Remember that I'm saying that. Write that down so that you don't get confused with other things that we'll talk about in a moment. Astral travel, okay, this is across time, okay, this is across dimensions, okay, realms. This is what astral travel is. This is when your soul is moving in these spaces: realms, time, dimensions, memory. Your soul is not physically here in this 3D reality. It's free. And this is for the soul born, can travel through different realms, times, spaces, different realities. And so this is when you leave your body and go into other dimensions, usually for healing or mission work. Usually for healing or mission work. So, for an example, you wake up feeling like, I feel like I was somewhere else, but the dreams are like, that house was weird. It was a bedroom, but then it was like a bathroom. And then now I'm like in a field. What? And you're trying to look where this place is. It doesn't exist anywhere. Okay. You traveled across dimensions, across time, maybe in a different realm. Okay. You can remember things about the dreams, like the colors, like, I don't know, the bathroom was green. Why was the bathroom green? Or different symbols, you know? There was a dog on top of a table eating pizza, right? Something like random. Okay. Or there may be encounters that feel real. Oh my goodness. Like you met someone and you're like you knew each other. And they're like, hey, how are you? Like, hey. And you're like, I know this person, but I don't know this person. I don't know who that is. None of this is your imagination. This is soul movement. It is real. You know that person. You've been to these places. There may be places that it looks almost exactly like your house, but the bedroom is on the other side. It's a little strange, okay? The garage is on the other side, or the something is off, but it looks like exactly the same. You're in a different dimension. It is real. It is not make believe. Your brain didn't make this up. I'm not speaking for other humans on this planet. I'm not speaking about for the echoes or the constructed beings. I'm speaking about the soul born. These are real, 100%. Okay, let's proceed. So let's talk about what astral travel really is. Thank you so much for the love gift. Affirm Christ. Thank you so much. Let's talk about what astral travel really is, y'all. Before we talk about what it is, let's talk about what it's not. It is not lucid dreaming. It is not lucid dreaming. That's something else. It is not fantasy play. Astral travel is not, I'm going to do something, some fantasy or no, it's not something that we're playing with. That's not what it is. There are three main purposes of astral traveling. The first one is soul retrieval. This is when your soul reclaims part of itself that were lost in trauma, past lives, or fragmentation. Okay? For an example, you dream you're comforting your younger version of yourself, right? Or you're helping someone escape from danger. Mhm. That someone may even be you. You may say, I feel like I was helping someone, but that person was me, but I was helping. How was I helping them if I'm watching them? Or I saw myself, but maybe it wasn't me. I felt like I was my mother looking at myself. That act of retrieval is anchoring lost pieces back into your current timeline. This is soul retrieval. There are pieces that you have forgotten. Some All soul-born have had traumas that have been so severe, especially in childhood, that you literally um, disconnect from your physical body. And you have an echo like, I think this happened to me, but I'm not really sure. And especially those who have had extreme traumas happen to them, which I won't name here, but you can if it was you, you can guess, not even guess, you can say to yourself what that was. You can't go back and ask the adults around you, did this happen to me? They may, they'll deny it, or maybe they're not alive. They won't validate you. But you feel like, I believe this thing happened. Now you may have a astral travel, which is a soul retrieval, which is your spirit saying, yes, it did. Now let's go fix it. The second one is grid repair. Grid repair. So many soulborns work as what you would call like energetic architects. And at night, you may help restore broken energy grids or key ley lines. Listen, listen. Let me be mindful of what I say. But there's a specific group of you within the group of the soulborns that are meant to do this work. This is why some of you move around so much, or some of you may even be what would be considered homeless. Let me explain what I mean. You're constantly moving from home to home to home. You don't have like a home with a 30-year mortgage, or different states or different countries, or you may not have a physical home. You may be living in a van, a car, something that's living on different people's homes, and you are look. Let me come on camera. You are thinking about other people's perception of you. This looks bad. What do people think? I feel ashamed. I feel embarrassed. But within your soul, you're okay. You're okay with it. There's not a lot of resistance. The difference is there are people that absolutely not. They absolutely have to have, this is my home. This is where I'm settled. I'm never moving from this place. But you're okay with movement. You're okay with being told, you know what? I just heard Houston. I don't know who's moving to Houston. Houston popped up. But you may be told it's time to move to Houston. And you're like, okay. Everybody may around you be thinking, like, what do you mean move to Houston? You never even been to Texas before. And you're okay with that. That's because it's actually part of your work. And it doesn't mean that you have to live there forever. It may be a year, it may be some months, it may be weeks. You go there, you do your work. You don't even need to know what your work is. This is part of following your promptings. Do you understand? All right, let me come off here. Let me bring the presentation back on. Let's have to look at some of y'all face to face. You have a very powerful role. I won't get too deep into that tonight. Hmm. Yeah, I won't get too deep into that tonight. But your work is to restore broken energy grids or ley lines. I'm going to do a teaching on that in the next couple of months because I'm going to do a teaching on that. So let me give you an example. Let me give you another example. Let's say you have a dream of this. You're looking at the earth and you're doing something with your hands and like weaving light into the cracks of the earth. Or maybe you're standing in the middle of a city and it's a blackout and you're in the middle. Like it looks like a Marvel comic movie. And you're like, that's weird. These are not fantasies. They are symbolic of real spiritual service in the earth's energetic infrastructure. This is your work. This is your job. This is why you can't be stagnant in one place. Cosmic remembrance and mission work. So these are journeys to other star systems, lifetimes, or cosmic libraries to remember who you are. Listen, you're not crazy. You had this dream. It is legitimate. Let me give you an example. You're on a spaceship, and it may not look like what it looks like in the movies, but you know I'm on this spaceship. Or you're inside this crystalline temple, and you're being shown symbols, sounds, you're hearing other languages, and you don't know what this language is because it doesn't sound like anything on this earth. And you wake up with this knowing, like, that was real. I don't know what they said. I don't know what that symbol is. And you're trying to draw the symbol or you're trying to remember the language and you can't repeat the language. Or maybe it's a song and you the melody is in your head, but you can't express it with your mouth. Like it just can't come out. These are not random, y'all. They're not random. They are keys. They are keys to unlocking your cosmic identity. They are keys to unlocking codes that have been laid dormant within you. They are keys to unlocking your mission work. What are you here to do? Because every soul born has a mission. That is 100% fact. Okay? And then frequency and awareness. So these things often occur at night without conscious awareness. You may not, again, you may say, nothing happened, or I think something happened, but I don't know what it is. This is what's happening every single night. This is what's happening every single night. Okay? You don't have to try to do anything. You don't have to do any special meditations, any special rituals, any special steps. You don't have to do anything. It's going to happen. You are a soul-born being, which means you are soul-led, which means you are not constructed or created here in this earth. And you are aware that you are soul-forward. You have an awareness of it. Let's continue. So what about out-of-body experiences? I have to speak on this because I've had so many people ask me about this, and there's a confusion. Is it astral traveling? It is not. Let's talk about it. Remember the 3 things I told you about astral traveling? Let me know in the chat. Do you remember what I said? Write this down about astral traveling. What were the 3 things? Let me see if anyone gets it. Were y'all taking notes? Let me see. Oh, I have to catch up. Let me catch up to y'all. Oh my gosh. Yes, thank you, Ariel. Time, dimensions, and other realities. Yes. Remember, I said this is going to be important. Write this down because it's going to help you understand the differences. Okay. Time, dimension, and other realities. So let's talk about outer body experiences. Outer body experiences are when you take this from the screen. When you are floating above your body or observing your room with awareness beyond the physical self. So you come out of your body and you're looking down and you see yourself sleeping in the bed. Okay. This is also remote viewing. This is when you travel consciously to another physical location. This could be in your house downstairs. This can be next door to your neighbor's house. This can be to another state, country, place within this realm. Okay. You're perceiving places without physically being present. Now, this is something used by, let's just say there's special forces. Maybe that's what they call special forces that use this in certain installations in this country, country. And then you have lucid movement. This is navigating this plane with expanded awareness, consciously moving with heightened perception. Now, I'm going to say this, I'm speaking to the soul born. Outer body experiences are cool, they're great, but they are local. They are not interdimensional. They're not the same as astral mission work. Many times you will have echoes that will do this. There are people that practice doing it. How do you come out of your body? What I will say to the soul born is don't play around with this. Don't play around with this. You don't need to consciously say, I'm going to consciously go and open up the book of Akashic records and look up page 50,045. I don't know. You don't have to do any of that. Listen. Let me put myself back on the screen. Listen. There are people that have to do the most to do what you do naturally. You hear me? There are people that have to climb mountains in Tibet, take all sorts of, entheogens and psychedelics to do what you do naturally. Do you hear me? There are people that pay tens of thousands of dollars to do the thing you do very naturally, and you think what you do is something basic, is something regular. Anyone can do it. The soul born, you don't have to do the most. You are already doing this. You're already traveling throughout realms. There are beings that, what is the number that I gave you? There are beings that cannot possibly do what you do, and they will try everything to do what it is that you're doing, at the same time telling you that, oh, that's not special. That's not a gift. Listen. One of the things that I say is that if you're in the middle of the forest, the desert, and you don't have any tools, any books, any social media, or anything, what are you going to do? Do you know who you are? Do you know what you're here to do? Do you know the powers within? Can you activate them? You don't have to do the most. You just need you. It's locked within your DNA. This is what we're doing. We're unlocking these codes. We're activating these codes within you. There are people that have to sit in, what is it called? Mindlessness, whatever that's called, for hours to get into a meditative state. And you drop into it in an instant. And you're thinking that must be wrong. I just close my eyes and I'm seeing things that's not how it's said to do it in the book by this particular author. That's an echo that's trying to copy your blueprint of what you have naturally. Listen. It Let me keep it positive. You 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 don't have to do you don't have to go above and beyond and 50 million rituals and 50 million things and all these different things to be who you already are inherently. Do you understand? Those people want what you have. They want to be who you are. You just need to know it. Let me get back. Let me get back. So, what I tell Soulborn is if you do this, if it happens to happen to you, fine. But don't try to do this because you're trying to find answers. What are you going to find? This is local. Listen to what I'm saying by this is local. People that have out of body experiences are only able to travel. Listen to me. They're only able to travel within this dimension or within the realms of this dimension. They're not able to travel outside. You can. So what you trying to get information from in this world for? Is why would you like why? Why? Why do you want to know what's happening in this country or in this whatever? That's you being grounded in this 3D reality. You get to travel to other dimensional spaces, other timelines, other planets, planetary systems. That's where you can get truth from. You're soul born, which means you're not born here. You're not from here. You came here on a mission. And that's not to play around in this globe. So here's the difference. Out of body experiences are local to this 3D reality, period. They are not interdimensional. It is not the same as astral mission work. Which one do you want to do? Some of you have the gifts of doing this, but many times people that play with out of body experiences are doing it in a malicious, low vibrational way. It's from fear, um, low vibrational intentions, wanting to spy on people or hurt people. And you have countries that will train people how to do this to spy on other countries or in other places within this realm. Okay? I'm not going to say much more than that. Let's continue. So the dream space is under attack. The dream space is under attack. This is why I'm teaching this now. This is why I'm teaching this now. I touched on it over the past 5 years in many different cases, but we're going deep. The universal collective of beings, not the soul-born, has programming. This programming creates noise in the field and can cause problems. Let's talk about some of the problems. So dreams can become distractions. Because you're in this space, you may have some dreams that are created just to keep you busy. For an example, let's say that you're trapped in this endless sequence of a dream. You keep having the same dream over and over again, right? Like you're constantly running errands or cleaning the space, or maybe you're constantly chasing someone, you don't know who they are, but the dream never resolves. There's no peace with it. It's just, I keep having the same reoccurring dream. That's what we call them, reoccurring dreams, right? It literally is spiritual static in your energetic field. And it keeps your mind occupied instead of receiving guidance. Listen. This is why it's important. I always say do not be on your phone should really not be in your bedroom, your bed, because you start doom scrolling. Start scrolling because your mind is active. You're soul born. You don't sleep much. But now you're eating, you're feeding these things. Your eyes are eating this stuff. And now you're having this can't shake this dream that I keep having. Spiritual static. So instead of your spirit team being able to give you the guidance, this is the next step you need to do with your soul mission. This is what you need to do about this. This is how you heal this thing. This is what you say. This is where you go. This is where you move. Instead, you're trapped in this static there, and they're trying to get through. And maybe there's a glimpse of something in the crazy dream, and then you're like, there was something strange that popped in, but then it pops out, and you're frustrated. The next one, dreams can become decoys. These are dreams that feel important, but they lead nowhere. So, for an example, you keep dreaming about, I don't know, winning money or being famous, right? Maybe you're like, I always have this dream I'm on a stage. It's been 20 years. Or real famous. I'm gonna be a famous singer. I don't know, right? I have this dream that I'm on the stage with, I don't know, Beyonce, right? But there's no feeling of truth or resonance. You really can't sing that well. You're like, that's weird. Okay. You have this dream that you're going to win the lottery, but you're like, I don't even play the lottery. There's no resonance with it. Your spirit team is not going to give you $10 million if there's not a plan in place for $10 million to be had. Otherwise, it hurts you. Y'all know that? I think it's like 80 something percent of people that win the lottery end up in debt. They end up filing bankruptcy. They're more poor than when it started because they didn't have a place to put that money. Your spirit team is not going to do that to you. So there's no real resonance. You may like it, but it doesn't really resonate. These dreams tempt your ego. They feel good, they seem good, but they really divert you from deeper soul work. They're like, shiny objects in the spiritual realm. Okay. And the third one, distortions or loops. Dreams can be distortions or loops. This is when you have the same traumatic scenario over and over. You're running somewhere and it's a flood chasing you and you can't escape the flood. And you wake up. It's the same thing over and over. Or you're in this building and you're trying to find your way out and you're running, you're trying to escape and you can't find the door. And it's the same building. It's the same building every time. You don't know where this building is. And it kind of looks like your childhood building, but it's not really the building. Like you don't know what this place is. Night after night, you may have it. Or you may feel like a dream where you're being abandoned or betrayed, right? Maybe you're in a relationship with someone and you have this recurring dream that they're cheating on you and you're asking her, you know, are you cheating on me? And she's like, what? Like, when do I have time? I would never. I love you. And you're like, I keep having this dream. It starts to feel like this pattern that you cannot break. Like, how do I get out of this? It is this loop. It's a distortion. These are interferences and they must be cleared. They can be cleared consciously. This is something that you can clear. They have to be cleared. The soul-born must reclaim sleep as sacred work, as sacred night work especially. Sometimes during the day, you may fall asleep, you may take a nap, and that's fine. But before you go to bed, you have to understand these things. You need to understand what's happening when you close your eyes. What are some of the experiences that you're having? What do they mean? Your sleep is sacred work. 7 to 9%, these are the soulborns. This is sacred work for you. and you have to take it as such. Nothing is random. Nothing is coincidental, and it's not normal. There's a statistic I read years ago that said like 80% of the world don't even dream. Like legitimately never had a dream. And of that percentage that do, only a percentage of them do dream in color or have experiences in color. That's a real statistic. So these experiences that you're having are true. They're real. Let me know in the chat if you've been following this thus far, if it's been resonating. Let me know how you're feeling. I said quite a bit. And there are ways that you can, before you go to sleep, there are things you can do. One of the things I tell you, put the phone away, protect yourself. I was saying the same protection for years. If, the, if you forget everything else, children can say this. I taught this to children. I'm surrounded by a bubble of love. Anything that is not love cannot exist in my space. Then you go to sleep. That's the easiest thing you can do. Shut out all interference, all distractions. Shut it out because you have work to do. There is power in your rest, in your sleep. It is not a reward. It's not when I get my work done, I get to sleep. No, it's let me sleep and then let's see how much work I get done. Yes, he's Kimball, you said it makes sense. World Desire, Zaire, you're saying deja vu. It's not deja vu. Yep, you've actually experienced this. Casey, it resonates well with you. You turn off your Wi-Fi, yes. Solar Moms Flow, feeling strong. Iron True Spirit, you said, yo, I swear I was talking to my spirit team and y'all not clear. This is right on time. Oh, they're doing their best to be clear. They're doing their best. And what's going to be happening is that you're going to have more activity. Some of you may have experienced in the last couple of weeks, once we went into Scorpio season, where it was more activity, more dreams. They're just like, what is happening? Right? They're going to get bigger, brighter, bolder, more in your face. Awesome. So, why this matters for your soul mission. So, your mission codes are not always revealed in daylight. Oh my goodness. You are being spoken to at night, but you have forgotten how to listen. Sleep is a receiving chamber for mission guidance. If my daughters can tell you, I am, or my students, they know. Sometimes I check out. I'm out for like 2 weeks. And in those 2 weeks, I'm in my bed. My bed is my sacred chamber. Everything about my bed is high vibrational. The crystals underneath, the types of bedding that I use, the pillows, everything. Because I go in there to extract information. When spirit says it's time to expand, it's time to do something new. Okay, got it. It's time for me to go to bed. And in my sleep chamber, I'm getting so much information about my soul mission, the work that I have to do, who I have to do it for. This is how it's to be done. Listen, I will sleep for 4 days, it seems. I'm in my bed for 4 days. I come out. If my daughters could tell you, it's like the craziest thing to them. And then for 24 hours straight, I'm working. I'm working. I'm up. And it seems like in those 4 days, I was being lazy when I was really, really receiving, really doing the work that needed to be done. That sleep is sacred, y'all. It is not something that you just happen to do. And you need to recognize them, record them. But you go to sleep with intention. Never just drop into sleep. You have a question, ask. If I have a question, I say, you know what? I'll let me sleep on it, literally. Before I go to sleep, I ask the question. I'm always going to get the answer because I've conditioned myself to learning how to listen. This is for the soul born. Some of you are frustrated because I can't figure out my soul mission. Is it what I'm supposed to do? Go to sleep. Go to sleep. And be open to it being revealed to you. And it may not make sense. Remember, I told you many times the information, the codes will be dropped, and you'll wake up like, I know it was something important, but I don't know. But the way you start moving or how you start magnetizing opportunities is because that information was given to you while you were asleep. And instead, you're up, awake, trying to hustle, trying to watch webinars or go to this or start this business and that business, do all these different things and trying to figure it out when you can just take a nap. You just take a nap. Why am I speaking about the soul mission? Because this is not new to any of you that have been here for a while. I've been speaking about this for years. In 2019, Spirit said, this is what your mission is. And I said, all right. At that point, I had lost everything. Everything I lost in my life. All I had was my daughters and my books, my knowledge. That's it. I didn't have my home anymore. I had sold my car because I needed money to take care of my daughters. I was sleeping in my parents' attic. I left my career. I was a university professor. I walked away when I had a job to be a director at an Ivy League school in New Jersey, job making $123,000 a year. I remember that. I lost my husband, my marriage. I had lost friends. Everything was gone. But there was something in me that said, this is what you're here to do. And it dropped so deep within my spirit. It resonated so deep that there wasn't a plan B. That was it. This is it. I'm going to follow this. And the moment that I said, I'm going to follow this, doors opened up. I remember telling a story when I started, Spirit said, start a YouTube channel. And I was like, oh, I could teach in a lecture hall full of students easily, right? Because I'm the professor. What are you going to do? You don't like my class? You can drop the class, take another professor's class, right? But me be on YouTube teaching, I don't know these people on the other side of the screen. But I followed it anyway. And doors started opening left and right. And I've shared this before and I'll share it again. I started the YouTube channel, had a real strong 8 subscribers. I remember all 8 of them. My daughter said, Mommy, like, do you want us to create fake Gmail accounts so you can have more subscribers? I said, no. Spirit told me to do this. I'm going to do it. Posting videos, didn't know nothing about lighting. My computer kept shutting down. It was terrible, y'all. Did it anyway. Spirit said, wake up, it's 3 o'clock, record something. Try to take off my do-rag. Spirit said, record it with your do-rag on. Did it anyway, y'all. Listen. And somebody saw my channel. Somebody saw a video and said, can I post it on my channel? And he had, I don't know, tens of thousands, I think 100,000 subscribers. And he posted it on there and people started subscribing to the channel. I wasn't in a place of, I don't know, Spirit told me to do this, but I don't know if it'll work. I just said, what else? I know who I am. I know I'm this spiritual being. I know I'm a soul born. There's no other option for me but to do this. There's not a plan B. I don't have a plan B. This is it, y'all. I'm not going back to the university. Nothing in me says to do that. Knowing your soul mission gives you this fire, this fortitude. And when you do that, the universe meets you there. Your spirit team meets you there. So many times I put on my spirit team, y'all told me I had to move. with my 3 daughters, y'all figure it out. Because my credit score really says 580. And this ad says you need a 660. Y'all figure it out because you told me to do that. And what happened? Applied. Suddenly the credit score is 660. It was a glitch in the system. But I stood on, this is the mission. This is what my soul told me to come here to do. This is the work that you're here to do. So I'm going to sit with that. And because that is so implanted within me, I'm able to do things with a knowing. There's no doubt. There's no fear. There's some challenges that come up, yes, because I have to expand. I have to spiral up, right? But there's a knowing within me, and there's nothing better than that. And when time goes on, it gets stronger. The mission gets clearer and clearer and clearer and stronger. But I had to start somewhere. And I'm sharing that with so many of you because so many of you are in a place in your life where you're like, I know I'm here to do something and I'm not really sure how, where to start. This is a good idea. That's a great idea. I should do this. My friend said I should do this. And you need clarity. So I've been speaking on this for years. I've done multiple soul mission workshops. I think the last one I did was in 2023. And it wasn't until a couple of months ago, where Spirit said, we want you to write all this down. There's more information. And I got more information. I started writing stuff down. Writing. Y'all literally, is it here? I can show y'all. Pages of me writing stuff down. And I said, I'm going to do another workshop. This time it's going to be different. It's going to be more expanded. We're going to go deeper because I understand the importance. I understand the value of knowing what it is that you're here to do. There is no plan B, y'all. I'm not telling anyone, this is not about start your own business now. No. You just need to know what it is that you're here to do. Have an idea and start moving in that way. And it's not something that happens like this. It didn't happen like this for me. I had to prove to myself that I was willing to follow these promptings. Looking crazy, y'all. Looking crazy. Talking to trees in the backyard. My neighbor's like, what's wrong with her? She lost it. Family looking at me like I was strange. Wearing crystals around my neck. Just all sorts of this. She's strange. She's weird. But the peace, the joy, the abundance in everything. I'm abundant. My daughters are abundant in love and opportunities and just all sorts of things. And this is where you all as soulborns should be as well. So let me get back on screen. So the Soul Mission Workshop. Some of you already found it. I haven't announced it publicly yet, but I know some of you have been on the website. You've seen it. You've seen a banner somewhere. The Soul Mission Workshop is a 2-day workshop that I'm doing in about a month, December 11th and the 12th. And it's 2 days because I'm going to teach you some things. We're going to go deeper. Some of you have done a Soul Mission Workshop with me before. We go way deeper this time. I teach you. You're going to do some homework. You're going to come back. We're going to go deeper. There's something that I received called the 4 layers of calling. And in this 4 layers of calling, it shows you that in different steps that you've known what your mission was all the time. We look at astrology, numerology, and then we're going to look at these 4 layers. This time, I'm sharing with you my writings. So you'll have a downloadable digital workbook. Now, there's a 3rd day. I only had 10 slots open for the 3rd day, and these are for people that want to work. Only 20 people where I'm working with you, looking at your charts, going deeper. Day 1 and day 2, we have a short Q&A, right? But we usually have such a big group, I can't answer everyone's questions. But on day 3, I'll look at your charts. We'll do it together. As of this morning, I think there are only 10 slots left. So if you're interested, the website spiritualayu.com/soulmission. I would love to see you there. So, with that said, tonight you will sleep differently, not because of what I said, but because your soul has been waiting to be remembered. You will sleep differently because your soul has been waiting to be remembered. Your spirit team, they're like, yes, now she or he knows what happens when they're going to sleep. Now we can really get to work. You will now sleep with intention, with understanding. I implore you all to watch the video again. If you didn't take notes, take notes. Go through it, watch it. See yourself in some of these principles that I shared tonight. Think of some of the experiences that you have that match with this. Give your soul the validation that it's asking for. Give your mind the understanding that it needs. And with that said, I hope that you all, I know that many of you found value in this. If you have questions or comments, please share them below. I love to read your comments. I love to hear how this makes sense. I understand why this happened to me now. I've had this dream that I thought was just crazy, and now I understand what it really is, right? I won't be interpreting any dreams, but maybe there's a symbol or something that you need some clarity on. I'm more than happy to answer it. Everyone, have a wonderful, wonderful night. Sweet dreams, safe travels, and yeah, I'll see you all soon. Peace, everyone. Good night.